Hi everyone, Stepan here. I'm going to play another 15 plus 10 training game. Hopefully I don't mess up like yesterday. I don't know if you've seen the live lesson I had with Milan. We had a look at my game from yesterday. Basically, I failed to appreciate the possibilities I had. I won extra material, and then after I'd won extra material, it was hard. And I should have played better before I won the material, or before my opponent blundered the material. Okay, we have e4, e5. I'm going to play knight f3. Dr. Denji is rated 150 points higher than me. I'm going to play my Italian, and hopefully the game goes well. Okay, let's play the two knights, or the knight's attack. He's going to take, and then either play b5, knight d4, or knight a5, which is the main move. Knight a5. I'm gonna play bishop e2, because I like bishop e2. It's the unsoundest move by far. Bishop d3 is best. After that, queen f3 is probably better than bishop e2. But I like bishop e2. Okay, now c3 should be fine. c3 is still theory, and we will see what happens from here. So I have ideas of d4, I have ideas of f4, and then taking en passant. I also have ideas of b4 if he does nothing. So he has to be slightly careful. Not that he loses a piece, though. But yeah, I mean, this opening, white wins a pawn, but black has a monster initiative with his bishops. And I've played 2 tournament games after bishop e2. I can't believe it's only 2. Huh. I got crushed in one after bishop d6 instead of bishop c5. And the other one I drew because one guy at the tournament had to... The medics came and stuff, and we drew the game on move 17. I was a pawn up. My opponent messed up because he played h6, knight f3, and didn't play e4. Instead he played bishop d6, then I had the chance to play d3. Okay, castles. So if b4, then bishop d6 or queen d6. Can I not take on f7 there? That seems scary. I'm not familiar with castles. Well, he can take on f2. So b4, queen d6. And knight f7. Attacking the queen. If bishop f2, king f2, and if queen d6, if wait, b4, queen d6, knight f7, bishop f2, king f2, rook f7, ba5, and then he has knight g4 mating me. Okay, b4, if he plays bishop d6, then I think I can take on f7. But queen d6 is critical. Why don't I know this? b4, queen d6, knight f7, Bishop f2, king f2, rook f7. ba5, knight g4 check. The queen is on d6. So I can go rook king e1. Am I getting mated? I don't know castles, so I'm just going to castle. I feel like I could get mated if I play b4. And the threat remains. Now if he does nothing, b4 actually works. I've wasted some time, but I'm going to learn from this game. Because if b4, queen d6, d4, knight d3, e d3, knight d3, then his bishop is attacked and I'm protecting f2. So maybe it worked. Maybe it worked. Maybe I could have played b4, queen d6, d4. But I'm not sure. I didn't want to lose the game in the first 10 moves, so... I mean, I sort of trusted him. He's the high-rated player, so I trusted his judgment. That's something I don't like doing, but if he'd spent 2 minutes and thought that castles is okay, then maybe it is okay, maybe I'm missing something. So again, b4, queen d6, d4, e d3, knight d3, bishop attacked, knight attacked, f2 protected. My queen is protected by the bishop. Maybe he can play rook e8, but I doubt it. Now he has a problem. If he moves the knight to b7, that's not really a square he wants to be on. He wants to play c5, knight c6, and also I can take on c6. If he moves the bishop, I can still play b4 and take on c6. If he plays queen d6 here, then I can play d4 and put my bishop on f3. I don't know, maybe b4 did work. Let me just see if the board is okay. It seems to be okay. For some reason, my software seems to be causing issues. Okay, queen d5. And I play d4. He plays e d3, I play knight d3. He moves the bishop to d6, I play bishop f3. I feel like d4 has to be correct. I'm not going to waste too much time on it. He has to take en passant, otherwise I'm threatening b4 and maybe even queen b3 with knight f7, bishop c4. Okay, he does take, so knight takes, attacks the bishop. I have bishop f3. He probably should save his bishop. with bishop d6. But then where does the queen go? I don't know if castles was correct. We are going to see. It's bothering me, so I have to stop thinking about it. I have to concentrate on what's going on here. Luckily, rook d8 doesn't work because knight c5, queen d1, rook d1, or knight c5, queen c5, queen d8. And if I can get in bishop f4 and knight d2, I'm happy. I just like bishop e2. I mean, it's slightly unsound because it gives black a tremendous initiative, but wait, bishop f3 is c6 going to fall? Bishop f3, queen somewhere, b4, and then take. Okay, I'm going to play bishop f3 again. I don't want to waste too much time because it feels like a very natural move. I have knight e5, I have knight b4, I have b4, I have bishop f4 if he plays queen d6. I feel like black did not get what he usually gets in this opening, which is a strong initiative, because now his bishop on b6 is not that strong. His knight on a5 is still stupid, which is the worst piece for black in this line. And I could probably offer a queen trade with knight b4 and be a safe pawn up. He doesn't have bishop g4, he doesn't have knight g4 or knight h5. Again, the question is, where does he move the queen? Because if queen e6, rook e1, if queen d6, bishop f4. I don't know, I like my position now. I feel like I'm a safe pawn up, actually. So practically speaking, castles was correct. Theoretically, we will see after the game. Yeah, I like my position more and more, the more I think about it. Because it's not really clear where the queen goes. Because if he plays queen f5, which he would surely like to play, then I don't play b4 because of rook d8. Yeah, queen f5 is probably good. And then what do I do against queen f5? He's threatening rook d8. So I should probably move my knight out to b4. Yes. Okay, now knight b4, rook d8, queen e1, rook e8. Knight b4, rook d8. Can I play queen a4, triple attacking. Does he have knight g4 there? Okay, my rook is still on f1, that's good. But he has... Well, after knight b4, he doesn't have knight a6. That's good. I definitely have to unpin. I don't have a move for my queen, so I'm going to play knight b4, and I'm expecting rook d8. And I'm planning to play queen a4. Although queen c2 could also be okay. Just offering a queen trade and relieving some pressure on f2. Also threatening knight c6. Okay, he plays bishop b7. I like knight a3. Because that defends the c2 square. I also like bishop e3. Because if bishop takes, pawn takes, then queen a4 is dangerous. Okay, knight a3, bishop e3, or queen c2. I'm gonna play knight a3. I like knight a3 because on queen c2 I can take with the a knight. For some reason my laptop is going crazy and going woo. I don't know what's causing that, and I don't think I can try to fix it now. Sounds like it's overheating, but it's quite cold. If you guys have any ideas what's causing this humming noise, then let me know. I'm also preventing knight c4, which could be annoying. And I still have queen a4. What is wrong with my laptop? Can you guys hear this? It's going just woo. I don't know. I'll try to move my mic away. I have no idea what's causing this. Please stop. It's very hard to think with this noise. Come on. Okay, I'll just shut my ears. Okay, so this has to be taken. And now if I play knight d3, he has rook d8. If I play knight c2, can I follow that up with... If I play knight c2, can I play queen f3 next? Oh, come on, what is this noise? I cannot think. Okay, I'll play knight c2 and then queen f3 next. What is this? Please help me. How do I stop this noise? What's going on? Okay, it's stopping now. It's getting quieter. I put my hand on the laptop. I don't know if that helped. Please don't get loud again. If he plays rook d8, I'm gonna play queen f3. And he will still need some moves to develop. And if he exchanges, I have bishop e3 followed by knight c4. And if he plays c4, I'm gonna play bishop e3. And after bishop e3, knight e3, the c4 pawn is attacked twice. Also, my pawn on f3 will prevent his knight from jumping into e4 or g4. And if he plays knight e4 or knight g4 now, I believe I play bishop e3 or knight e3. Okay, stop thinking about the noise, stop thinking about anything else, concentrate. Okay, it's completely silent now. Yes. Okay, queen f3 was my intention, so I'm going to play it. I don't think he has rook d3 if he exchanges, because then I have bishop e3. Now I'm definitely not getting mated. And I still definitely have knight c4. And I still definitely have bishop e3 to finally connect my pieces. If he plays knight d4, I go bishop e3 or knight e3. Okay, my position should be fine. I'm not getting mated. I'm controlling d2. I'm controlling e3. His knight is still bad. You should probably consider knight d6 in this position. Bishop c7. Okay. I'm just going to play bishop e3 to connect my rooks. If he plays knight d5, I'm going to play rook a d1 to prevent rook d2 from happening. The only way I could be in trouble is if he plays rook d6 and rook g6, but even so. Or maybe rook d5, rook h5. I had not considered that. That seems a bit scary. Okay, knight d5 I'm happy with. I play rook a d1 and exchange. And I probably take with the pawn. Oh, maybe I take with the knight. Maybe rook fd1 was correct. But no, probably rook ad1 because nothing is going on the queen side. What is the purpose of bishop b8? Preventing knight b5 is my guess. Okay, now I'm going to stop his knight from coming in with knight c4 to make sure he doesn't have knight a5 or knight d6. I don't think that's a bad move. It improves my worst piece. Also prevents rook d6 with rook g6 ideas. Okay. I think I'm going to trade and play knight e3. At least now he doesn't have any rook d6, rook d5 ideas, and I'm controlling the entire board. I'm 5 minutes ahead on the clock, which is very good. The noise is starting again, which is not good, but if he takes on e3 now, I definitely take with the pawn. With the control of the d file, that became better. Maybe I can also try knight g4, knight e5 to put some pressure on him finally. Maybe king h1, rook g1, knight f5. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to play king g2 to make sure there are no back rank checks. I don't think it's the best move, but it's a good, quick move when your opponent has a minute on the clock, and I also have the option to play rook h1 or rook g1 later. It makes g5 less appealing, I believe, because I can play h3. Okay, what is this move? Should I just trade rooks here? My knight is definitely better than the bishop for the moment. So rook d8, rook d8, rook d1. If he trades, knight d1. He still doesn't have knight a5 or knight d6. He has knight d8, knight e6. That shouldn't be a big problem. But if I trade, I make the position easier for him to play, and he is much lower on time. Okay, I'm gonna play h3 to see what he does. At least my h2 pawn is not hanging. And okay, if he does that, now I can... Now it's very hard to play knight d5 or knight f5 because he has rook e2. So now I can probably trade. Rook d8, rook d8, rook d1. Should I trade? Okay, I'm going to trade. Because I feel that the position is very good for me with his knight dominated. And now he cannot decline the trade because I have rook d7. So he has to take. Knight d8. Probably. For knight e6, knight f4. But I have knight e3, knight d5. Controlling his knight. And this pawn is restricting his bishop, so this pawn is a good ally for me. Okay, here I just play knight e3. And I keep my good knight on c4. I need to start pushing my pawn majority on the queen side. And I think I can just win a pawn with knight e5. Because if he plays king f6, then I play knight d7. And if he doesn't play king f6, then he has to play king g5. Okay, knight e5 check, king g5. And then I have knight d7, winning a pawn. Okay, so this works. I think this works. He cannot go to f6. He has to go to g5, and then knight d7 wins the c5 pawn. I think it does. I don't think he has anything to save this one. Okay, I'm gonna take. It doesn't fork my knights because my knight on e3 is defended by the pawn on f2. He still doesn't have knight c4 or knight f5, which is extremely important. If he takes on e3, I probably just take on d6. Or maybe I take on e3, and after knight f5 I go king f2. Ah no, if he takes on e3 he has knight c4. He has knight c4, but I win another pawn now. Because I take and then take on f7. Okay, he doesn't want to give me the pawn. And I have to save my pawn majority. I don't want him to rip open my pawns, so I'm going to play b3. And I'm going to play it quickly. Now I need to prevent his king from coming in somehow. He still doesn't have king f6. Because I can check. He still doesn't have king g5. Because I can take on f7. So I sort of want to prevent bishop f4. But then I'm also maybe running into f6 and bishop e5 after. If king g3, then bishop b2 and knight e4, f5. So no, I don't want to put my king on a dark square yet. I'll just push my pawn. He probably plays bishop f4. He doesn't play bishop f4. Okay. I need to go the other way. Can I go the other way? Is king f1 too slow? He doesn't have king g5. He doesn't have king e5. He has to play king e6. So I think king f1 is correct. I can never go to g3 really because I hang my knight in many variations. Okay, king e6. Do I play knight b5 with tempo and then knight d4? Or do I just go knight e4? But then he goes f5. I like knight b5, knight e4, knight d4 because I can play knight e2 and sort of control. Okay, he doesn't do that. Okay, so king e2. Now my knight is perfectly secure, and b5 is an excellent square. Now he controls my knight. But I think I put my knight on d5. That has to be correct. Stops bishop f4, stops king f4. Okay. This is good, this is good. My knight is centralized. It's definitely fighting this bishop. His bishop is very good, but my knight is also very good. A centralized knight on an outpost. Can he play bishop d4 if I go king d3? Yes, he can, but then I can go knight e3. But then he goes king b4. I don't really want to give up any of my pawns, not even the f2 pawn. King d3, bishop d4, knight e3, king b4, knight c2 check, king c5. Oh no, he doesn't have king b4 because I take. I can take on d4. Stupid. The bishop is hanging if king b4. Okay, now let's prevent his bishop from coming in. And try to win the bishop. And also threaten this. If he plays f5, I can play knight a4. I need to play a3 quickly. Okay, now I've gained the tempo, so I can go knight d5 and king e4. Unless he plays f5, but f5 runs into knight e7. Okay. King e4 to provoke the pawn to f5. f5, king e3. Okay, he just waits. I'm gonna start breaking up his pawns with f4, f5. I need to weaken the g6 pawn. Now I'm very happy. Once I did this. Because I'm breaking open the only thing he has in this position. And he can never really... Okay. Now I just continue with f4, I think. And break up the structure completely. Take. Now how do I blockade him? He wants to play f6 or bishop f6, so I'm going to play knight e3 and knight g4, blockading. Oof, I have to play quickly and it's kind of stressful, but he has to play quicker than me, so that's good. And I'm clear 2 pawns up. Everything is on a light square. That's really good. My king is on a light square. Can I now finally play a3? I think I can. So knight c2 with a3 ideas, or a3 first. No, knight c2 first. Knight c2 first. To make sure there are no infiltrations and that his pieces are blockaded completely. Okay, now, where does this poor bishop go? I'm finally going to play a3 b4, which is the only way for me to make progress. Those are my two extra pawns. Finally. Let's make sure he doesn't come in. That's the only source of counterplay he has. Two connected passed pawns. This should be easily winning. Of course, I am known for messing positions up, so I will do my best not to do it here. But I don't think I can mess this one up. Okay, c5 check. The king has to go all the way back, and then I play king d5, making progress. I can also simply play... No, king d5 is best. Just improve my king first. And now let's push. And push the bishop away again. Okay, push again. Yeah, this is it. Okay, this is just over. That's it. Now he's playing for stalemate. There's no stalemate. I just queen if he doesn't take. Now I queen with check. Okay, woohoo, yes. Despite the noise, good game. He said good game, that's nice. Okay, woohoo. Yes, okay. This was good. This was good. I'm happy. Let's analyze. Whoa, why is the engine on again? As soon as I go to the analysis board, why is the engine automatically on? I hate that. Let's have a look at this position after castles. So this is the first critical position. And the point is, if b4, and queen d6. I don't think I take here, because takes and rook takes, and if I take here, then this is really scary. Because, for example, here and here, yeah, this is all over. Because if I go d3 or d4, he just plays e3. But after queen d6, can I go d4? And takes and takes. I probably can. I think this just works. I'm going to be declining these challenges. Sorry. Let's just check this point with an engine. I'm really curious to know. Castles is best after b4. He doesn't play queen d6. He plays queen d5. And what happens on d4? Ah, queen d5 to attack g2. Okay, good. Okay, I didn't go for this. I mean, it was purely on instinct. I thought there was something going on there. Now, okay, d4 I feel is okay. Bishop f3 is okay. And I'm slightly concerned about knight a3, but I feel like that's also fine. c5, I think this has to be played. And after the queen trade, I think I'm just much better. But then again, what does he do if he doesn't trade queens? The knight is hanging. He can play queen d7, but then I just play bishop e3. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to analyze this game in detail later. Let's just see. Okay. Knight c2 was okay. Queen f3 is okay. And white is just slightly better. Yeah, now white is much better after this trade. Yeah, okay. So I played correctly. Let's disable the engine. I'm really happy. Thank you for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.